Okay, today you're going to try and keep the slab of clay that you make. So remember, you wedge with butterfly hands, wrap it around the clay, push down, roll back, push down, roll back. Do that 5 or 6 times. Then you do not leave it as a rock of clay. Switch to CPR hands, and you're going to press down to start to flatten it so it's about the height of your hand. You have to have 2 guide sticks on either side of you. You have to share that with your table. There's only 3 sets. Then you start from the middle and you're going to roll out. Now you want to roll this clay so it's big enough to fit your marker drawing on that plastic. So as I roll from the middle out, I'm also going to want to stretch it to the sides. I don't want to press so hard that it makes my clay stick. But then I can also turn my clay. So now it's tall enough this way, but now it needs to get longer that way. So now I'm going to turn my clay, so it's going to start to stretch longer. So if your clay is sticking to your rolling pin, stop and clean the clay off with your dry hand. Just pull the clay off and wipe it on the table. Flip it over so your sticky side is touching the table. Then remember that slip is the glue that holds clay together. Slip is just watery, sticky clay. So I do not want to use that wet rag to clean this rolling pin off, because then there's water on the rolling pin. When water touches clay, it makes slip. That becomes glue. So when I have finished and I'm at uniform thickness, I'm going to pass these supplies to the next student. Now I am going to take this slab, check for air bubbles. If you see an air bubble like there's one there, I want to pop that with my fingers. You can see how that opened up. Okay, now I'm going to take my plastic and I'm going to set it on top of the clay, and I'm just going to kind of push down on my plastic. It will stick to the clay, so you shouldn't need tape to hold it in place. Now what I'm going to do is switch to an ink pen, and you've got ink pens in your clay boxes. And with that ink pen, you're now going to draw over the top of every Sharpie line. The ink pen is going to start to make a carving into the surface of the clay. So now when I peel this back, the video might not pick it up very well, but in person, you'll be able to see that indentation. So I want to get every line carved in to the surface of my clay. Then when all of this is carved through the plastic, you can peel off the plastic, use that ink pen, and you can carve that a little bit deeper into the clay so that the line is easier to see, to work with. So that is your goal by the end of class today. You're trying to get everything carved into the surface of the clay. And then if you finish that and there's still time left to work today, I'll explain how you start to build up the 3D features. Okay, at cleanup today, you're going to take your project board and you're going to get a wet rag. You're going to open up that rag and put it on top of your board. Then you're going to take your piece of clay and you're going to set it on top of that rag. Your plastic needs to come off that. Your plastic is going to stay underneath your tables. I'm going to give you those folders to put things in. And then what you do is you take your rag and you fold it over the top of your clay. If there's a hole in your rag, chances are other fabric will cover it up. So my clay is now protected from the top and the bottom. We never put clay directly on the board because it will stick to the board. Then you're going to pick up your entire board and you're going to open up your plastic bag and you're going to put that board to the bottom of that plastic bag. Then you're going to push the extra air out and you're going to fold all the extra plastic bag underneath the board. Then you're going to go set that on your assigned shelf where your name tag is. And then you come back to your table and you continue to wipe off all your clay tools and the tabletop. We do not wash hands until I have dismissed your table to wash hands. Extra clay that you didn't end up rolling out, just put back in your bucket with the lid on it.